Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Metaphorically Small podcast. I'm your host, Anthony, and I'm here with my co host, or my secondary host, Eli. Say hi.
Hello, how are you?
Doing very good. And so, yeah, this is gonna be this is gonna be our podcast. We've been talking about doing one for a long time now, but we never got around to doing it because with Eli and I, we liked like when we play video games and stuff together. All we do, like, we wouldn't even pay attention to the game. We just talk.
We would essentially just drive around the map of GTA and just go on these rants and just philosophize about things.
Yeah, pretty much. And so we were
Did I say
basically
that
yeah,
right? Philosophize.
you're asking the wrong person. Philosoph I don't know. Um, but yeah, but then I think just one day I was like, maybe we should just like do a podcast. Like see how like just
And,
let's
and now
like
it's finally here. It's
and
finally
now it's
happening.
finally happening. So yeah. All right. And so usually cuz we're kind of just we're trying like I wanted to try like just doing kind of a theme per episode. So this episode's theme is going to be minimum wage jobs. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There's more than just these two, but there's basically kind of two styles of minimum wage jobs. There's either fast food or food service or retail. And now I work in fast food, and Eli, you work in retail.
That is correct.
So yeah, and just for purposes, we will be saying the names of our jobs, but I'm just gonna censor them just because I don't want to dox myself. Um, yeah, well, just for privacy purposes, like we're gonna censor out the names of our workplaces. So, I mean, the first thing, I mean, I want to ask you, like, how do you start off work? Like, what does your day to day at work entail?
So it varies sometimes. It just depends on the mood I'm in. The when I first enter. Some days I'll just already be grumpy going in, and like the slightest little thing would just tick me off.
Yeah, I'm kind of the
But
same way. But like, like what I mean by that is like your tasks. Like, what do your kind of day to day like tasks entail?
uh, pretty simple. I've been working there for a while, so it feels kind of like I'm the store favorite. And whenever there's like something that needs to be done, they usually come to me first. And it gets kind of annoying sometimes, but it's a simple job. I just help out the bag. I help out the clerks, the checkers, whatever you want to call them. When the lines get too long, I'll stand at like the end of the at the table and I'll like help bag. And yeah, that's basically it for most of the day. Sometimes they'll ask me to do like some of the other chores, like take out trash, clean some stuff.
Yeah,
But that's pretty much it.
yeah, and when I say you work in retail, I mean like I just say you work in a grocery store. Like from everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, I work in a fast food place. And so like how like so you've been working there for a while. When did you first start that job? How old were you? Because I know you're 22 now.
22 going on to 23. I've been working there for about 4 years. So I started when I was 19, about 19.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been working at my job for a little over a year now. It was right when it was right when COVID hit, so like not too
Right when
many
it all started.
like yeah, like a couple months after, like I was just out of high school and I was just I just needed to get a job. Like just because like there was just things I wanted, but like I couldn't rely on my family to always give me money, so I'm like, I'm just going to get a job. But oh god, excuse me for a second. Ah, jeez.
Right. And so far, I feel like you fast food workers, you have it a little bit harder than everyone else, just because there's supply and demand. Like, yeah, sometimes you guys get like lines out to like the freaking block with
Ye-
freaking cars,
Pretty much.
especially especially if you're in drive through and I know
Yeah.
how it is. Like,
Yeah, Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it was kind of easy for me at first because, like I said, this is like only a couple of months after COVID, like really impacted the US. So everything was really still shut down and very limited. So our dining room wasn't open. So where I was trained specifically, I was just trained on cooking and just taking orders out, like, or like just doing orders in the drive-through. That's where I was trained. Um, or might I say, like, I didn't learn how to actually take orders at the drive-through until like a month later or like 2 months later. But like our main priority was just the drive-through. Like we didn't have dining room, and then a little bit after that, we got like we opened our dining room, but only for carryout. So so yeah, it was kind of weird, but I want to know, did COVID impact you guys when because I know like mask policies and stuff like that, but
So
like did you?
strangely enough, not really. If anything, it felt like people that they just kind of ignored the whole pandemic. It just carried on as business as usual. And the mask thing, it was kind of an issue at first. Like nobody really wanted to wear them, and we just kind of had to stand outside and enforce them. And when somebody refused to put it on, we were like, okay, there's nothing we can really do about it. Like we just have to let one of the managers deal with it because like, the last thing, someone that works a minimum wage job is to get in a freaking pissing match with some asshole that doesn't wanna put his mask on, so
Yeah, that's really true. But when I more talk about like, well, I mean, yeah, also that, but when I talk about impacted you, like, did you like? I assume like your shifts had to be more restricted. Like you couldn't have that many people on staff for a day because of like social distancing and stuff like that, or did you lose a lot of people because of the pandemic and because people just quit out of nowhere?
not really, I feel like what impacted us the most was that nobody really wanted to, like, sure, we lost a couple of people, but it's because of, like, the whole COVID thing, people were mostly scared to, like, come back to work, so it was really hard, like, finding people to come in the first place. And we were still hiring at the time, but of course, like, who the hell wants to work in the middle of a pandemic? Like, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And
Um, I mean, it impacted us, and eh, I mean, to be completely honest, it didn't really impact us either, but well, I mean, because well, as you would be too, we're both essential workers, so like we weren't basically out of a job, or like
yeah.
we weren't forced to stay home. So so yeah, the main thing that really changed with us is that one, our dining room was closed, so we couldn't really take in a lot of orders, so we were losing like revenue and stuff like that, and also um we had to wear masks. Like everybody on shift has to wear a mask, and it's for like a couple of weeks we we didn't have to wear them, and then Delta variant came around, and then just kind of we all had to go back to it. But working in a hot, stuffy kitchen for about 7 to 8 hours a day, having to wear a
Oh
mask,
yeah, having to wear that thing on
oh
your
my,
face makes it kind of difficult to breathe at times. I
it
know.
did, and it destroyed my face with acne because I was really stupid when I first started because I would wear cloth masks. Like I would wear like the reusable cloth masks. And those
I did too
things,
when it first
yeah,
started. Yeah.
and those things, they just absorb sweat, and not only sweat, but the grease from cooking and stuff like that. So my face just, I was breaking out all over, and it was awful.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of like the cloth or the paper mask because there have been times where I take it off at the end of the day and I just look inside of it and it is disgusting. Like it's all
Yeah,
yellowed and like I was like, ew. I had
yeah,
that thing on my face the whole
yeah.
day.
I wore one cloth mask, and it had like it was green on the outside, but it had like a white like cotton inside. And I take it off at the end of the day, and it was just so disgusting. Like I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, so I stopped wearing masks like that altogether. Mm.
Yeah, I never did ask you like, what is your whole policy with masks? Like, were you one of those people that was like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan, or did you just not care?
At like me personally, or at our restaurant.
Uh, yeah, both, I guess.
For me, like if somebody tells me to wear a mask, like I'm not gonna throw a tantrum over it. Like I have to do it. It's just like it is what it is. Like there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. Like it's just I have to wear it for my safety and others. But at our store, like we many of the people that I've talked to, like customers and stuff, like they didn't like they weren't angry about it. Like they were just kind of like they walked in and they were like, "Oh God, like," and I was like, "Oh, you need to have a mask on," and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then they just like quickly grab it out of their pocket and put it on. Like it was more of like they forgot rather than like they weren't just like they just didn't put it on like as a choice. Like, but I never had any confrontations with people about masks. I'd say the one time I had like a semi confrontation was this old lady. She came in and she was ordering, and I was like, "Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, you need to put a mask on." And this is at the time that certain counties in Illinois were taking like down their mask policies or their mask mandates or whatever.
Right.
So like a lot of restaurants, you didn't have to wear a mask when you dined in. But I just told her like, "Ma'am, oh, I'm sorry, you have to put a mask on." And she's like, "Wait, but this is so and so county. Like you need to have like you can eat in here. Like you don't have to eat in here." But I'm like, "But I'm sorry, it's not just that. It's our store policy." And she's like, "Oh, she's like," but she wasn't like fussy about it. She wasn't angry about it. She just grabbed the mask out of her purse and she put it on. Like it wasn't. Yeah,
At least she was respectful about it.
yeah. One thing that I hated, and I still hate it to this day, is when people who don't have masks, because I still see it to this day. Like when they come in and they try to order something, they come in and they don't have a mask, so they just throw their shirt over their face. I hate that.
Yeah,
I
they try to do like the bandit thing with the shirt.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that. Like it's
At least they're trying, but
yeah, like um but another thing, like I mean aside from COVID and stuff, like or just the general customer service experience, like have you had to deal with unpleasant, angry customers?
Karens.
Karens, yes, but other just everybody in general, just stupid, angry people in general.
All of the time. I mean, I wouldn't say, well, angry and unpleasant, but it's usually not me that has to deal with them. I just have to deal with like them shouting and causing a ruckus in the store, and it's just distracting for me and for everyone else in there. It's usually a manager that deals with them, and I feel sorry for them. Funny enough, one of my manager's names is Karen's, which I find kind of ironic because they have to deal with Karens all day.
Yeah. There was one time it was like because like I said, I started when the dining room was closed, and when we opened it back up, I had to take orders and stuff. So I was learning, and it was like either my first or second day, like taking orders up front. And there was a woman who came in, and she was Karen. She was just a Karen. The sunglasses, the haircut, the tracksuit, like just Karen. Like
Oh boy.
she was, and I am sitting there fucking shaking. Like I am shaking and I am like bullets of sweat. Like well not on my face but like everywhere else. I was sweating so badly. And like I like you could see as like I'm tapping on the console. I'm like, "Don't fuck this order up, Anthony. Just don't." I was like, don't screw it up."
She's gonna ask for the manager. Don't be the reason why she
Yeah.
asks.
Yeah, and no. But no, she was very pleasant. She was really pleasant. But there were other times where this guy, well, it was actually this is actually my first angry customer story. Um, I like because it was busy. It was like I think it was dinner rush. It had to be dinner rush time. And this guy, he orders like a lot of food, like a $40-50 order. Like he was
I
ordering for
remember you telling me this
he was
story,
yeah
yeah.
he was ordering for like 8 people. And so obviously we had to park him. because we were making his food. But you've also got to keep in mind, and I'm saying this to the audience too, like if a fast food worker parks you because of their order, not only do they have to take care of your order, but they have to take care of everybody else's order behind you. And I know that's pretty obvious, but I know some people don't get that. But you've also got to realize that you're not the only one who ordered a lot of food. Other people are ordering a lot of food behind you too. So, like, eventually we get this guy's order like cooked and packed up and stuff, and I bring it out to him, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? Like 8 cars, like 7, 8 cars went like after me, like, and they all got it in like 2 minutes, and like I've been out here for like 10 minutes." And then I was basically saying like they ordered like ice cream, and like they were ordering like 10 like $10 orders, like $5 orders. You ordered a whole like family. You ordered food for like a whole family. And he's swearing at me and shit, and then he just pulls away cuz he's just pissed.
See, I don't understand people like that, and honestly, from like a consumer standpoint, because like I don't know how it is for you guys, but I assume it pisses you guys off too. When people just like order a fuck ton of food at a drive-through and they hold up the line, and like
Yeah.
so in some instances where it just pisses me off the most, they don't even make it past like the speaker box. Like they're still going to like, come on.
And
And from your story, I could tell that like even
yeah.
you guys like listening in, like type it in the
Yeah.
comments. Like, have you guys ever had an experience like this, like where someone just does not move away from the from the speaker box, and they're just still going, and they're racking up like I don't know how much in food,
The biggest
and
order
then
I have ever, I don't think I told you this, but the biggest order I've ever had was about like $112.
damn, dude, was it the same guy? Like, what they
No, no, no.
order?
No, it wasn't the same guy. This is a whole year afterwards. This was like middle of this year. Well, no, well, because this guy, he was a construction worker and he was ordering lunch for his crew. But the thing is, where I work at, um, our prices, they like, I mean, I'm gonna censor this anyway, but
Family.
our prices have increased like pretty often. So like our meals, like I think for a small like double meal, it's almost like $9. And then you chalk that up to a large, that is like $10. So putting like 10 like 10 $11 like for like 12 people, that's going to add up a lot. Like it's like it, but there are some times where people just like, it's not that they're ordering a lot of food, it's just they're so damn slow and they will sit there. Like
Oh,
they
I
will
get
sit
it.
there. They will sit there, and they like this one lady. I swear to Christ, like she did well. One, because we at our store we allow to do two separate orders, so like two separate checks essentially. And so like she was asking me like all these stupid questions. She was like "Oh, like, can I have like a double cheeseburger? And then can I have a value fry?" And she was like, "Wait, how big is the value fry? Is it the same fry that comes in the value meal?" And she asked me that like four different times. And it was annoying me. And then her like, not only did she do two separate orders, but those two orders were massive and they were slow when ordering. So it was testing my patience so badly. But when they got to my window to pay, they were so quick to just whip out their cards and just go. It's like you couldn't have had a sense of urgency earlier.
Bro, I hate that so much. Specifically, like the stupid questions. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I'll be like in a rush to go do something. I'll get stopped, and usually it's like something like a stupid question. Like,
Like where's the vegetable oil?
it will be in that aisle. It's like,
Like you'll be staring right at the vegetable oil. You're like, "Where's the
yes.
vegetable oil?" Um, I want to know. Do you have any stupid customer stories? Well, I assume you do, but, like, do you have any, like, like, notable stupid
Plenty
customer stories?
notable ones that I
Li
could think of at the top of my head, not really.
like, just list off
Uh,
some experiences, like, I've already talked, you should talk a bit.
I mean, I definitely have stories from retail. Like, yeah, I think I've told you this one time. Like this one old man. Yeah, he came into the store. I thought nothing of it. Yeah, like he was like, I didn't even notice him at first. But like out of the corner of my eye, I kind of see him like putting stuff, like picking up grocery bags, and I was like, okay, he probably like he probably set those there earlier, and he was just coming back to get them. It turns out that old man was not only shoplifting, but hit my freaking parents' car trying to get out of the parking lot. Because he was he was caught shoplifting.
No way.
And when they show me the camera feed, I was like, this motherfucker was right next to me. If only I had known that he was the motherfucker that hit my car, or hit my parents' car. And on top of all of that, he had the audacity to fucking shoplift on top of it. And they weren't supposed to show me that video too, so like I hope nobody gets in trouble for me saying that. But I was
I mean, we're not dropping names here.
furious.
We're not dropping names here, so.
Yeah, I was furious.
Um, I mean, um, there have been times where like people will try to like coax me into giving them freebies and stuff just because they don't have enough money, or like they just don't have any money at all. Like there's this one time, it was like late at night. It was like 9, 10 o'clock, and I was on the closing shifts, and usually at the time we'd close at like 12 o'clock. So like we get a couple of people. But this guy came through, and he orders some food and stuff, and then he pays, and then we hand him his food, and he's like, "Hey, can I get a free lemonade?" And like, cause he was trying to do the whole like being buddy buddy. He was like, come on, come on, you could just give me a free lemonade, right? He's like, come on, just give me a free lemonade. And my manager, who was standing right next to me, she's like, no, we can't do that. Like, or like he was talking to her, and I was just kind of like, I don't want to take credit for that, but I was trying to take credit for that. It's fucking stupid, but she was yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he was trying to like he was just trying to get like free lemonade and stuff out of us, and like we just weren't having it.
Yeah, yeah, I have a couple of experiences like that too. Like that's probably the most common one that happens because over here we have
Family.
'cause I'm not sure what you guys have out there. I think it might be like Safeway or something. But
Safeway. Well, I actually I researched this not too long ago. Like because I have friends who live basically all over the country. But yeah, I think like
Family.
is in like Safeway and like Fred Meyer, they're like all a part of the same like network.
they are supposedly
Family.
bought them all, and they're all under one company now.
Yeah, like Kroger. Like I don't know where there's a Kroger. I think that's specifically a UK thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have them out here. I just don't know where. Uh, so back to the story. That was probably like the most common thing that happens because I'm not sure if you're aware. Yeah, I'm not sure how often you like go shopping at one of these grocery stores, but we have like this really stupid app that's just complicated as hell to use. There's no tutorial or anything that like shows you how to like use it. So of course, our customers they get furious. They get pissed because they don't know how to use the app, and the app is required to get discounts, like the good discounts. And like constantly, they would like argue with the cashiers over the stupid app because it just wouldn't work, or like nobody knows how to use the damn thing. And
That's the same exact thing with the with
Family.
like people will come in and be like, "How do I add the coupon to this?" And like, and I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to use a
Family.
app." Like I honest to God, because it's so finicky and stupid, I don't even bother with it. Like I know how to like add coupons and stuff because just for the sake of my job, I had to know how to do that. But like any other issues with that, like I'm not the one you talk to, and we're not the ones you talk to. That's more of like a corporate thing you do.
Right, and it's the same issue over here. Like,
Yeah.
none of the cashiers, none of us know how to use it. It's a pain in the ass for us to figure it out, and they actually train us, and it's like it's just a freaking mess to
Hmm.
use. And I feel like it would be so like such an obvious thing to like make like not even a 5-minute video that explains how to use it. Like when you first open it, so that way it clears up confusion. And it recently got an update. You think it would make it better, but no, it just made things worse. So obviously it made our customers a bit more agitated as well.
Uh,
And
yeah. And speaking of messy, well, I mean I mean, obviously you have your spills and stuff at the grocery store, but working fast food, it has a really like given me it's given me a real sense of like you can go into work like, you know, spick and span, like clean as ever, and you can come out just covered head to toe in grease and like and just like grease and like fat and just gross shit all over you.
like that episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah. Um one story that I have, well, I mean I have many of these. Yeah, you know, ladies and gentlemen, audience, just I'm gonna get into a little bit of some gross, not too gross, but like if you got a weak stomach or you're a bit squeamish, then you can
If we're
then just
talking
turn.
gross stories, I have one
Yeah,
to share as well. So
yeah,
if you don't like gross stuff,
yeah,
this would be
just
a
yeah.
time to tune out or skip ahead.
I'll add a timestamp for when you can skip forward. So yeah. Okay, so the first story I have is it was when I was first learning how to do fries, like the fryers. And the thing is with our fryers is you have to filter them like every so often. Like there's two filters that you have to do. You have to do the express filters, which you do in between rushes just to make sure the fryers are clean. And then at the end of the day, you do the daily filter, which is a more thorough and longer cleaning cycle. And so I do both of those, but the thing is there's no like grease trap. There's like a filter pan under it. So it's like a semi grease trap, but it's also the trap all like the crud that was in the fryers. And so at the end of the day, you have to pull that out once you're done filtering and then clean it. But I did not learn the proper way how to clean that. I was basically just taking everything out and shoving it in the dishwasher or like trying to lift it with my scrawny little baby arms into the sink, and that thing's fucking heavy, especially when it's filled with like 7 hours worth of like fryer crud. Like it is really heavy. And I remember cleaning it and just I like all like that leftover crud and stuff was like just on my arms and down my shirt, and it was just disgusting because that stuff smells like it really does.
Oh, I bet.
It does.
Also, grease, yeah, doesn't it cause like acne?
It
Like,
does. Yeah, no, it does. And then there's another story. It was because this is before because recently our store got renovated, so we have new grills and stuff. But our old grills, they're like the way the new grills are, they have these two little like compartments on each side of them, and like you pour water on the grill, you scrape it off, and then all the crud just goes into those pans. But you have to empty those out periodically. The old grills, you would have like a rolly bucket, like a roller bucket, and you put it under there with like the thick black like grease bags. And you put it under there and you just just pour water, scrape it, and it will all go down the drain into the buckets. And at the end of the day, you just go out the back, take out the bag and throw it in the trash. So I did that, but I didn't know that you had to tie the bags. So what ended up happening was I lifted it up, I threw it in the trash can, and okay, the bag was still open, so I threw it in. It like exploded at the bottom of the trash and like just gross like fatty like solidified like grease water just like sprayed out of the trash can and like got all over my face, and I was like I
uh,
was gagging. I was gagging and like I was ready to throw up right there and then. And my coworkers were like, "Ew, like Anthony, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Ugh." Like, it was so bad.
Stinky.
Ste Stinky. But, yeah, that was really disgusting, and, so, yeah, what's your gross story? I need to know.
Okay. So, you know how occasionally they make us like clean the bathrooms, clean up spills and
Oh,
stuff like that?
I think I know what you're talking about. I think you've told me this before, so did
So, this one time I got stuck on bathroom duty. So, no, I'm cleaning the bathrooms as usual, and I noticed that there's a guy in the stall. So, I'm trying to kill time, wait for him to leave, so that way I can go in the stall and clean it. He leaves. He washes his hands. He leaves, and as I go into the stall, I notice like like literally a brick of fucking shit like being like held above the toilet water. Like this thing is literally like a log
like
of
I
human
said, okay,
feces.
yeah, like I said, skip ahead if if you have a weak stomach, oh, fast food is like it's honestly so disgusting because what workers have to do. Like, yeah, obviously we wash our hands and stuff, but just like doing like because when you're on the front counter, you're also doing the fries because the fries are right next to the front counter. And you're
Yeah.
also cleaning the dining room, but also doing the dining room means you're doing the bathrooms. So, so my manager would be like, Anthony, go wash go clean the bathroom up, like, scrub down the toilets and stuff like that. And I'd go do that, and then they'd come back and they'd be like, all right, you're back on fries, and it's just like, ugh. It's like my hands were in a toilet. Why are you gonna send me back on fries? Even like I said, even though we do wash our hands, we do wash them thoroughly. Like, it's still just gross.
Yeah, I get that. So, yeah, back to the story. I'm trying to think of something for like a size comparison to to put into perspective on how freaking like girthy and big this freaking thing
Okay,
was.
let's not go into let's not try to go too descriptive because I know even though not everybody's gonna go past not gonna do the
This is
timestamp.
gonna blow up someday, and it's gonna get clipped, and
It will.
all we're gonna see on YouTube is just clips of us talking
Is
about like big girthy shits.
uh um I mean we could get off I mean, yeah, we could get off this topic. I mean
So, wrapping up the story, I had to break the thing apart with a fucking plunger,
uh
and I just wanted to quit. I wanted to
uh
quit very badly at that point.
I mean, okay, feces aside, another thing, like, because you not only have to clean the men's room, you have to clean the women's room, or I'm assuming you don't have to do that.
So we do, but like I crack the door open and I like knock with the finger, like kind of hard to like give a heads up, like hey,
I'm
like I'm
cleaning the
coming
bathroom.
in. Yeah. Most of the time there will be nobody in there, so it's all clear. If there is, or if I hear like somebody's in there, I'll just like come back like a few minutes later.
Um, yeah, no. So no, we had to. But normally when I clean the bathrooms, it's usually after our dining room is closed, so nobody's in there, nobody's using them. Um, But what I hate is when I go to clean the women's room and because they have like the feminine hygiene like product, like the little trash bin next to the toilet for all that
Hmm.
stuff. Like I hate it because people still do this. They will use it as a literal garbage can. So I will find not just like feminine hygiene stuff, I will find like empty soda cups, like water bottles, like masks, like just like I'll just find trash in there.
I know exactly what you mean, and I hate to be the person that admits this, but I never touch that because I don't know what people have, and because I know like
Mm,
that's used to discard like blood. So
yeah,
so I just leave that
yeah,
thing alone. I don't bother touching it, and
yeah.
like if anyone like if any of our female audience is like what fucking like I hate when like this thing is always full, like that's probably why like we
Yeah,
don't want to touch that.
yeah, and it just and like I mean, but the thing is, like, not only do like I have to take out the bag and stuff, but like I make sure like I double up on glove. Like when I clean the bathrooms, I double up on gloves. And so,
Right.
and what we also do is with that little hygiene bin is once we take out the trash, I spray it down with like bleach spray.
Yeah.
So that fucker's definitely clean. And yeah, it's just like fat like well, I mean minimum wage work, just like fast food retail, like yeah, like it does take like people say like oh it's not hard work like you had to stock shelves and like flip burgers like it's not that hard like I mean in defense it's like or like to be fair it's not hard but when you're stocking shelves or flipping burgers you're also dealing with hundreds of stupid angry entitled people all day and in my case when you're working fast food you're on a timer while doing that as well and would you say that doing work like this puts a strain on your mental health? Like, have you felt like
I I understand 100%. And look, I don't even work fast food, and I know the pressure that you guys get put under because I know what it's like to be the only person in a goddamn store having to do pick up everyone else's like chores or like pick up the slack. Because have you ever had to be? Have you ever like been in a scenario where you'll be like the only person in the store and like you got a full line outside, so you're like trying to book it as fast as you can to like fulfill orders, get the line out.
I mean, mainly it's just usually like I mean, I love everybody that I work with, I really do. But there was at a certain point in time where I mean, this is at the time, well, I mean, this leads into another story that I wanted to talk about. It was this year. And we have a lot of high schools and stuff in our area. So everybody was having graduation on the same day. And people were calling out, the older employees because they had kids and stuff that were graduating and stuff and that's fair. And some of them were going to come in later to work. But
Mhm.
my boss, she purposefully didn't tell enough people to come in because she was like, "Oh, it's graduation. Everybody's going to be, going out to eat like it shouldn't be like or like going like to restaurants and eating like it shouldn't be like bad like you guys shouldn't need that many people but there was a flaw in that everybody was going out to eat that night so not only families of people but teenagers just graduating going out and celebrating and stuff like that so we were so like line around the building like basically like because what you got to do in my store is you enter the parking lot you go around the building and then you get into the drive-through line.
Mhm.
So basically the line extended from there and it wrapped all the way to the entrance of the parking lot. And we were just like not only did we have that going, we had people in the dining room like taking orders and it just got to the point where two closers flat out walked out and quit. So it was me, my manager and another employee dealing with all of this. And then our boss gave us a go ahead. Okay, I see. Go and close the dining room at 8 o'clock because it usually closes at 10. But after that, we were so short staffed and we were having trouble finding people like replacements. So all of us, we were working essentially double the hours on our shifts, sometimes with no breaks. Um, or like double the days on shifts, like longer hours, sometimes with no breaks because we don't have enough people to cover breaks for shifts. And we were so overworked, it was just getting to the point where like all of us were burnt out. And like yeah, some people were slacking because and I don't blame them because they just didn't have it in them to try to keep working.
Right, and I get that. I feel for those people. I've had, I'm sure you as well had instances where you just wanted to walk out like at all costs. But you also got to realize that like yeah, it may suck for you, but it's gonna suck a lot more for your
Yeah,
coworkers
for
if you
yeah.
just up and leave, because now they gotta
Yeah.
pick up your slack.
Yeah, no, there was a night not too long ago where like I had basically like it was just a shit day for me. I didn't like from the moment I walked in, I was in a shit mood. So what happened was like it was late in the night. It was like 2 hours before my shift was over, but like I was basically saying like if they like and it was just car after car after car. Like I didn't get a moment to like take a drink or do anything. So I was like, if the next order is like $50 or more, I'm walking out. Like that was my policy. And I prayed for somebody to hit that $50 mark for like the next 2 hours, nothing, and I walked out. Or like and like, I clocked out and I was done with my shift. But like and then I quickly realized like and even my manager has told me like if you want to walk out right now, that's cool. Like you can go. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that to you guys. Like I don't want to do that to you guys. And there was like on that graduation day, like everybody was thinking about walking out. I'm like I'm not kidding. Everybody was thinking about walking out, and I was the deciding vote. And so basically, what I went and I hid in our freezer, and like I called my mom, and I was like, everybody wants to leave. Like I don't know what to do. like
It all
like
depends on me, mom. I need
it,
help.
it was like really scary. Cause I was like, I don't know, like I was like, shoot, like, cause if a manager leaves, because we only have one manager on shift, if she leaves, we can't be there. Like, you cannot, a crew member cannot be in the store without a manager on site. And
Right.
yeah, and and like I was huddled in the corner of like the freezer, and then all of my coworkers like they're all like standing at the door like and I just slowly turn around like I'm like all hunched over and I'm like what and they're like oh you have a customer up front I'm like damn it.
You're just huddled in that corner. You're thinking like, what would Vin Diesel do?
What would Vin Diesel do? um he'd probably drive his charger through the front door.
Screaming
You
family.
never turn your back on family.
Exactly. And you know what? Like on the topic of family, like if you work retail, like you're gonna make some friends, and at some point you're gonna consider these guys family.
Absolutely. I've had a lot of people that I work with and till this day, some of them have been transferred to other locations, some of them have, quit and found better jobs. Like they were real like they were genuinely like awesome people to be with. Like I said I love the people I work with. It's just a matter of everything else that comes with the job is just awful.
We have this elderly gentleman where I work. His name is Mel, and he's a manager. And the only reason he works there is because like he's supposed to be retired, but retirement kind of gets old after a while, just having nothing to do. And I swear, this man is essentially like my second grandpa. Like he's like the grandfather of like the store. Like everyone loves him. He's just a cheer to be around, and uh yeah, the store just wouldn't be the same without him. But like we love him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, you had those people. Like we had we had a woman like that. I'm not gonna say her name for privacy sakes, but all of us basically called her mom. Like she was just like because we had a lot of like teenagers working in the store, and like she was just so cool, and like all of us just called her mom because she was just really she was just super cool. But yeah, like I love the people that I work with. It's just the job is unbearable. And that's what I kind of tell new employees, like not as like to scare them, but I'm like, this is a shit job, but you're gonna love working with us. Like like
It's
it's just
gonna
plain and
suck at
simple.
first. You're gonna have your moments,
Yeah.
but yeah, you'll learn to like it.
Yeah. And some days are
And
good. Some days are good, some days are bad. Um, but like you eventually just kind of learn how to deal with it.
that's the thing with all jobs when you think about it. Like you're gonna like even with your dream job, you're gonna have moments where it's like, I fucking hate this. but you realize like, I think that now, but I really have it good where I'm at.
Yeah, like I don't like I mean at this point like I'm at a point where I'm not actively trying to lose my job. Like I'm not just going to stop giving a shit and like just not like just stop doing my job. I'm not going to do that. But like if something happens and I end up losing my job, it happens. Like it was a shit job like but hey, I have to do it because society will collapse when nobody gets their milkshakes. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that because we're starting to get to that point. Like, I don't want to get too political or anything. I don't want to like open up a whole can of worms. Save it for a different podcast.
I
But
don't we're not going to get much into political shit on this. It's the one
yeah,
thing I
yeah.
kind of want to avoid with this.
But a lot of people, like, not just in retail, not just in fast food, but like in every industry, we're experiencing a ton of walkouts because people are just tired of like everyone's shit. And it's just sad to see because like it's creating like a huge staffing shortage for like literally everything. And the people that like are being offered to go back to work, they just don't want to go back. And
Yeah.
it's creating a huge, huge problem. And it
Yeah.
just sucks.
Okay, so I mean, I mean that was the case earlier. Like, I was going out to get dinner. Like, my mom and I were running a few errands, and we were gonna get dinner afterwards. And I wanted to get Little Caesars pizza. And before I fucking hear anything about it, Little Caesars pizza is good pizza when you don't have a little bitch in your ear telling you that it sucks. It's good budget pizza, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But we wanted to go, and they're usually open till like 9, 10 o'clock. But it was like 5 o'clock.
Anthony,
Huh?
what's Little Wayne's favorite pizza place?
What is it?
Little Seizures.
Shut up. What do you mean, Lil Wayne?
So apparently, Little Wayne, he's had like a couple of seizures, and someone made this joke like, "Hey, what's Little Wayne's favorite pizza place?" Little Seizures.
Oh my god. Now, what I was saying about Little Caesars is like this place is usually open until like 9, 10 o'clock, but it was like 6 o'clock and it was closed. And they've been closing earlier and earlier. I was kind of bummed. I was like, damn, they really are closed. Like it just sucks. And because there are days where like we literally cannot stay open because our hour went from like we close at 12 and then we closed at like 10 and then we went to 11. So 11's like our standard closing time. But there are days when we can't even meet 11 o'clock. Like we closed at like 9 one day because there were 3 of us working and there was nothing else anybody can do. People were off, people were busy, nobody can come in and help us. So we had to close at 9. And we had no lunch breaks. None of us had lunch breaks. So what we ended up doing was at the end of our shift, we grabbed food and we all just sat down in the dining room and we ate. Like we just had like our own like 15-minute lunch break before we had to close up. Like that was just it. Like
You saying that makes me picture that one like photo of like the Avengers cast like around that table just having like a lunch
yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the image I'm
Yeah,
getting in
that
my
that's
head.
that's what it felt like cuz we were going through hell that night. Um but yeah, just all in all, like I don't want to discourage people from getting minimum wage jobs. Like they're fine. They're beginner jobs. They're not supposed to be there. Like if I'm still at this job when I'm like 24, then I'm obviously doing something wrong. That
Right.
like I'm obviously doing something wrong. So like I'm not saying they're not bad jobs. Like they're good if you want to start, get job experience, make some money. Like that's cool. Like I've been able to afford things that I haven't. Like I built my own computer. Like I bought my own consoles. I bought the microphone that I'm using to make this podcast.
We are
Like
building our empire. Yeah, it's going slow as hell. We're not making that much money, but you know, we're building it.
yeah, like it's not bad at all. Like I say go for it, but don't make fast food or retail or any minimum wage job. Don't make it your only option. Like try to branch out, try to find something new. Like whether it be like turning your hobby into a job, like making things online, like selling it. Don't invest in NFTs because that's fucking stupid. I
That
swear.
shit's literally a scam.
NFTs,
Now, if you
yeah.
want to invest in crypto, yeah, like actual like cryptocurrency, I highly recommend it.
Crypto? Okay, that's our to okay, we're not gonna get into that can of worms. We'll probably do it after the stream after the podcast. But
Make sure you invest in one that is actually doing well and just don't get scammed.
yeah,
There are
yeah.
plenty of scam ones out there,
Less
so make
less
sure you do your homework.
yeah, no. So today's lessons are minimum wage jobs. They're stupid, but because people are desperate for workers, they're paying a lot more. So it's good to get in on that now. Don't invest in NFTs because they're a fucking scam, and you should actually pay independent artists online to make artwork and stuff. Yeah, don't buy in any of that bullshit. Maybe invest in crypto. That's like a 50-50 of you getting anything back. But yeah. So yeah, that wraps it up for this episode of the Metaphorically Small podcast. We hope we see you guys again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say to the viewers before we wrap things up. If you're watching this and you're currently unemployed, maybe consider getting one of these jobs that we're talking about. Now, yeah, we touched on a lot of the bad things. It does suck at times, but we also touched on a lot of the good things. And like I said, it may suck when you first start. You're gonna have moments where you want to quit at all costs, but also the staffing shortages. So if if you're not doing it for yourself, at least do it for everyone else. Uh, kind of going off on a tangent here, but and the main takeaway here is don't don't think short of minimum wage jobs because they may suck, but you know it's honest work.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna go through a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, once you see that paycheck and once you actually you're gonna feel that it was all worth it when you see what you have, like things you buy.
Especially if you're smart with it and you put some of it aside, you'll notice that it starts to add up pretty quick, and you're gonna make some friends. Again, you might even consider these friends family, and
Yeah.
you're overall gonna have a better time than
Yeah.
all of the bad times
Yeah,
that you can think of.
you get on that grind, you make a lot of paper and you buy that funny monkey NFT for 2K. It's gonna feel good. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
Just
please don't do that last one.
don't do that last one. Don't. Okay. So now, tangents aside, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. We hope to see you back next episode. We're probably gonna do another one very soon. So yeah, subscribe to the Metaphorically Small podcast YouTube channel.
Or we
Like
might
this.
actually talk about NFTs and stuff.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about that. But yeah, like this
It's a
video.
maybe.
Yeah, like this video, share it around. Spread the love. Let's see how this goes. So yeah. I'm Anthony,
I'm Eli.
and we hope you guys have a good night. See you later.